had to tighten the plan. I got it right in the end. Now we on top. Got a spot, and it's like.
Today, from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, it's Week 7 of the NFL on EA Sports. Atlanta Falcons taking on Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions.
The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather. And we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Detroit Lions and the Atlanta Falcons. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Stafford on first down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tack McKinley made his way into the backfield.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. 3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. This is caught inside the 15. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Heck of a start, a 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage. From the 8, they've got it 1st and goal. To throw is Ryan. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Down near the goal line, things really get physical. You're always anticipating a running play, but when they do throw it, things happen quickly. A little bit of a bang-bang play there that falls incomplete.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Deron Harmon.
Intercepted by the line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
It's a gain of 9.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. From the gun, here's Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
First down.
First carry now. This is Johnson. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
The tackle made by Dante Fowler. Tackled back at the 35-yard line.
Now on 2nd and 13. Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And there's a catch by Todd Gurley, and that has to remind us that's exactly what we've seen in him throughout his career when he's at his best. He can run it. He can catch it. He led the league in total yards from scrimmage in 2017 with nearly 3,000. Todd Gurley, when he's on point, is quite a weapon for the Atlanta Falcons.
Brings up 2nd.
The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 17 carries, 54 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. He's got a man, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A very solid gain of 27.
That's another.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line.
The handoff to Todd Gurley.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 24-yard line.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
And there's a run there by Todd Gurley. We all know he's looking to rebound from the least productive season of his career. And I think Atlanta presents him a great opportunity to do just that. They'll use him really well running it as well as catching it out of the backfield.
And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Intended target on that one, Russell Gage. But it's going to be 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Ito Smith, his 1st carry. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
A loss of 1 brings up 3rd down and 11.
On 3rd down, Ryan. Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs. Able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Good. Makes the score Falcons 3.
So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
Kenny Galladay and the Lions set to go to work again. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Johnson. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. And one play, 75 yards in zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 34. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Coverage defensive.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards up 1st and 2nd down.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. So here are the Lions to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And right away, he'll look to throw. This complete to Jones. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
A gain of 12.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Stafford. And he finds Danny Amendola.
Stafford's pass.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
It's a gain of 8.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
4-yard line.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
That's a nice clip and save sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced the 3rd down, blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced the dump off to the back, And even then, they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
Ito Smith heading back out with the rest of his offensive crew. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he'll wind up picking up about 4, as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
Gain of 4.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
10 at the 38.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
To the right side and complete to Hurst. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Looking downfield for Jones. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
The Lions.
They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10.
Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Good job over there, baby.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll set up the screen to Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Hayden Hurst as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. So much for a little 5-yard pass play to your tight end. They made him a deep ball threat there, and it worked out.
Times have changed, haven't they? Those used to be plays that we would clip and save because you didn't see it very often. Big tight end, deep downfield catching a pass. Now it's almost standard. That's a big part of everyone's offense. Get it to those guys because they're not just tight ends anymore. They're athletes.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. He completes it to Jones. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 42. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So the halftime break behind us, and we are back underway with the third quarter of action. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
First and 10. At their own 26-yard line.
So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Olesen. They find some open field here. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they're leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
49-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4.
They'll run it again with Smith. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Instead of the first, they'll have to go backwards for another 2nd down try.
So if there is a silver lining, though, it stays 2nd down, and they still have an opportunity to pick up a first down before they have to start their downs over again.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. From the shotgun, Ryan. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from it, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Now following the touchdown, Hoffrichter to kick off. Taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They go to Johnson again. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
Well, there's zero doubt that the Detroit Lions like Kerryon Johnson's ability, but he's been dinged up a little bit in his first 2 years in the NFL, so they went out and used a day 2 pick this past year on DeAndre Swift, the rookie runner out of Georgia, hoping, I think, to pair them together and maybe send a message. But I think if Kerryon Johnson can stay on the field, he could be an awfully productive back in the NFL.
12 more yards there and another 1st down. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Keanu Neal with a safety blitz for the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Open man is Galladay, complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
And it's 3rd.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. And Amendola's got it, complete. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll begin with a handoff to Smith. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Ball carrier.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
They go back to the ground with Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
First down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Airing it out, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Bryant going to throw deep for the end zone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. It's caught, Smith. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. The Falcons on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. To give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So the face mask moves him closer, and now 1st and goal. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 28.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
A 7-yard.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Yards to go.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick six will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really you're almost at the point of no option. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense call, able to make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
Sterling Hoffrichter to kick off.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will make it into the end zone. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback.
At their own.
The Lions offense set to take over. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Johnson's got it complete. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Jones has it. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Marvin Jones.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. From the gun, here's Stafford. Complete to Jones. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 17. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Complete to carry.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? You want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Lions will take over. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals. Just something magical about breaking that barrier.
He's right there on the doorstep now. On first down at Stafford. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So that one a disaster. A big loss there with second down coming up. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Stafford delivers this to Hawkinson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Hawkinson throwing on third down. Stafford. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he's got Amendola on the connection. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Right back to him for 10 more and a first. Underneath for Johnson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. To the air again, Stafford. Toward the pylon, caught. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, second down. From the 2 now, second and goal.
Falcons 2-yard line.
Throwing again is Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, but now it's third and goal. A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal. Stafford looks to throw again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions were able to draw a bit closer.
The Lions.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a two-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the two-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one.
Onside kick.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. And he's going to be met at about the 43. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Smith. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Smith. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Atlanta, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers.